Hi everybody, happy Autistic Pride Day. Today on my news feed I've seen about 4 posts all talking about, it's a Monday today. So parents saying, I've just had to leave my son at school, my daughter at school. They're crying, they didn't want to go in today. It was hell getting them there. They've tried to run out after me. I've given the teacher the right to restrain my child now because they try and get out of school. These parents, I'm wondering, do they know that under Section 7, 8.6 of the Education Act, that they are fully entitled to home educate their autistic children, or any child? Now, when you have a child, you teach them from the moment they're born. You are fully responsible for their health, for their well-being, for their self-esteem, their confidence. But then you feel, when they get to 2, 3, that you aren't enough anymore. And you have to hand your child over to a nursery or to a school because you feel that you can't teach your child what these people can teach them. And you can. You can. You can do that, all right? Maybe not in the same structured way. Autistic children and ADHD kids, they learn in a slightly different way. So some kids thrive on routine and structure, some don't. Some need to do it a different way. Now, my children learn autonomously. So they learn from life experiences. They do a bit of written work. They love having stories read to them. They love to draw. They love their iPads. They love documentaries. They love museum visits, cinema visits. We talk a lot, we go to parks, we go on holiday, and I treasure it. I wouldn't have it any other way. My son was in school until age 5, and he was so badly bullied. And the thing is, I didn't know he was bullied, because he couldn't, even though he was verbal. Common misconception is because a child is verbal that they can communicate everything. Sometimes they can't. Sometimes they can't communicate everything.
I love you, Mommy. You're the best superhero.
I love you too, honey. You're the best superhero too. Sorry. That's my little daughter. She's 5 and she has not ever been to school. She's never been. She'll be home educated. My son was in school till age 5 and he didn't know to tell me that he'd been bullied.
He couldn't talk.
He could talk, but he just didn't understand that when I took him in and I left him, that I didn't know what was going on. Because he knew, why wouldn't I know? That's very common with autistics because they know. They won't think that you don't know. And I didn't know. And the day that I found out, I pulled him out. I deregistered. I deregistered a week later. And it's very easy to do. It's simply a letter to the school saying, dear headmaster's name, I wish to deregister my child from your school. Please remove my child's name in class from your school roll. They will be educated otherwise. And you sign it and you date it. You email it in. Good idea to email it in after school hours so it bounces back with the, oh, we're not in right now. So that acts as a receipt. And also hand in a letter at the desk and get a receipt for it. And then you're free. Now, if you get contacted by the home education officer for your area, it is totally your right to either say, yes, you're welcome into my home, please come meet my child. Or, if your child won't accept people into the house, you can meet them at a library, you can meet them at a park if they're flexible. And if you don't want to meet them at all, you don't have to. You can communicate by email and let them know that your child is all right. I choose to have the home education officer in because we've got nothing to hide. But they can't give you funding for home education unless your local authority admits that they failed, that there is no other option. Then you might be lucky and get a bit of funding. The other thing is a common misconception, a common bit of misinformation that's being passed around by schools to parents is that once you deregister your child, that your child is no longer entitled to speech and language therapy, occupational therapy, physiotherapy. That's not true. Go to your GP and ask for a referral And you will get one. You will get speech and language. You will get all of that. You are fully entitled to all of that for your child. So don't believe any of that. Socialisation seems to be something that people worry about. Now, socialisation is knowing not to walk out into the street and take a dump. That's socialisation. That's knowing society's rules. Socialising, however, is a different thing.
I'm watching Egypt, Mama.
You're watching Egypt? Good girl, honey. She's got a special interest in Egypt right now. Good girl.
I love Tutankhamun. He's dreamy.
He's dreamy, is he? Yeah, okay.
Show to the poster.
I will do in a minute. I'll show them your poster in a minute, alright?
And even that one down.
I'll show them that in a minute. I can't remember what the hell I was talking about now. Oh yeah, socialising. So there's home education groups where parents will, meet up and their kids will go out and do things at, either a restaurant or a museum or a park, or there's so many things. There's so many different classes that are run now. There's home education centres where you can take your child. You can follow the national curriculum if you choose to. The packs are available online. If you don't, you can learn in a completely relaxed way, whatever time of day that you want to. So reading a story, writing a story, drawing, that's all literacy. Maths is going to the shop. Letting your child pay for something, asking them how much change they should have, giving them responsibility, giving them life skills that they will need. Those things are very important. I hesitate to say the next thing, but I'm going to say it. Your child's mental health is more important than grades. All right, now I know a lot of you are going to be, oh, but he needs to learn to cope, he needs to learn to... Yes, but if he's feeling suicidal, if she's feeling that she needs to cut herself in order to cope with that day, that's not worth it. All right, please know that. So it is Autistic Pride Day. And a lot of children aren't going to be feeling proud that they're autistic because they're going to get teased for their stimming behaviour, for the fact that they can't cope. And that's why I've put this out, because I believe it's important. If your child is doing well in school, fantastic. If you've got a good school that is supportive, brilliant. But if you don't, please contact us. Autistic Inclusive Meets. We are, as far as I know, the only autistic-led organisation that fully supports home educators. So if you're thinking about home educating, if you have any questions, we now run a home educators group on a Thursday in a Woolwich Common Youth Centre. Please reach out to us. And if your child's in school and they're doing well, that's great. You're still welcome to reach out to us. If you have any concerns or just need some support, or your child just needs a friend, let us know. And have a lovely Autistic Pride Day.